Do you think doomsday scenarios shown in the movies are unrealistic? Fact Point brings to you 8 scary, terrifying things that actually exist. Tighten your seatbelt, here we go. Number 1. Prions. When you hear the word protein, you immediately associate it with good health and exercise. Get ready for a change. Prions are basically a group of screwed up proteins that interact with other proteins and damage them. Once you acquire a prion disease, it will slowly start messing with your brain and damaging proteins vital for your life. There is no cure and no treatment. It has a long incubation period. You may have it right now and not even realize. Fatal familial insomnia is one of the scariest examples of prion disease. You initially start suffering from mild insomnia, which gets worsened with time till you can't sleep at all and begin hallucinating and ultimately die. Number 2. Stinging brush. This simple-looking plant is common in rainforest areas of Australia. But don't go for its looks. As if everything in Australia is not already trying to kill you, this is another addition to that. It has deadly stinging hair that cover the entire plant. Even slight touch will deliver potent neurotoxin inside your body. Ironically, its fruit is edible. Ernie Ryder, who once came in contact with this plant, said that he was suffering from unbearable pain for more than 3 days. Neither could he work nor sleep. The stinging persisted for 2 years and would often recur when taken cold shower. If that doesn't freak you out, then here is a bonus fact. The treatment includes applying hydrochloric acid to affected skin area. Number 3. Locked-in syndrome. Commonly called pseudocoma, it is a medical condition that will pull the soul out of your body, quite literally. A person suffering from locked-in syndrome looks normal and completely aware, but here is when it gets terrifying. Despite being completely aware, the patient cannot communicate or move. Often the affected individuals have complete paralysis of nearly all the voluntary muscles except blinking and vertical eye movement. Eye movement is the only way patients are able to communicate. Brain damage is the primary cause behind this syndrome. In few cases the affected person cannot even move their eyes. Number 4. The Strid of Yorkshire. A small stream of water running between the rocks might seem very beautiful, very safe, and very tempting to jump across. There is a similar stretch of water called the Strid in Yorkshire, England, which has a 100% mortality rate. It looks like a narrow stream of water, but it is full of the deadly combination of fast currents and sharp underwater rocks, enough to pulverize you over, and over and over again. Vortices in the flow will trap bodies under the water close to the bed or the sides, and the turbulence will render someone unconscious very quickly. Number 5. Anesthesia awareness. In early times, when there were no known medical anesthetics, larger complex surgeries were carried out while the patient was still awake. Sounds too horrific, right? Use of anesthesia has made complex medical procedures less painful. But do you know there is a medical condition called anesthesia awareness, which may occur in certain people who are resistant to anesthesia? While undergoing some medical surgery, for example, they may randomly wake up while the operation is still going on. A true horror. Number 6. Naegleria fowleri. It may sound like a cute scientific name, but as soon as you realize what we are talking about, it will send chills down your spine. Naegleria fowleri are commonly called brain-eating amoeba, and they do exactly what their name tells us, eat brain. They are usually found in warm freshwater bodies such as lakes and rivers. They can also be found in unchlorinated swimming pools. If someone accidentally inhales water containing this amoeba, within 5 days a lethal brain infection starts, and within 2 weeks the person dies. The fact that something as simple as swimming in river can be so deadly is mind-boggling. Number 7. Yellowstone caldera. Yellowstone caldera is the name given to a volcano in Yellowstone National Park. But it's not your usual volcano, it's a supervolcano. What that means is that it ranks 8 on Volcanic Explosivity Index. And 8 is the worst a volcano can be. If the Yellowstone supervolcano erupts, it will release deposits of 240 cubic miles or 1,000 cubic kilometers. To put that in perspective, It will eject enough sulfuric acid in the Earth's atmosphere to effectively cause a global nuclear winter, and the ash would ruin agriculture in the Western Hemisphere and most people would die. Maybe some of us will still survive, but those who survive will have to re-establish the entire human civilization. Number 8. Antibiotic resistance. Perhaps the scariest of all the things is the rising antibiotic resistance. It is something we cannot always be certain about and can likely happen. Don't believe us? You should hear United Nations then. The UN declared antibiotic resistance as the greatest and most urgent global risk, more important than even climate change. This is how it works: you get sick, you take antibiotic and it kills the bad bacteria inside you. But some of those bacteria over a period of time may develop resistance to that particular antibiotic, and thus only the ones without this mutation to resist the antibiotic die, and the remaining ones with the mutation can now easily multiply, and suddenly you start facing a large-scale medical threat because your antibiotics no longer work. Depending on how severe the epidemic is, you have very short time to develop an antibiotic which works before the time runs out. Pretty serious and scary, isn't it? Number 9. Cordyceps. It is a special type of fungus which mostly affects insects, but its description will surely horrify you. To put it in simple words, it is a lethal mind control fungus. It can turn insects into living zombies. Take for example ant infection. Infected ants compulsively climb as high as they can, and then clamp their jaws down. Then a stalk grows out the top of their head and releases spores that infect more ants. The ant is still alive and has will of its own, but the fungus hijacks and controls it. It's straight out of horror movie but really true. What if tomorrow one of these fungus mutate and start affecting humans as well? Stay safe, and thanks for watching.